Greetings ladies and gents, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Alex here. I just came from the gym. I'm still energized from the gym because, sometimes I feel like whenever I go and exercise, it just gives me more energy, although it should be the contrary, and you just become more motivated to do things, although you just finished 1.5 hour gym session. That happens. At least it happens in my case. As the new year started, many people, they try to set some fitness goals, and I will go to the gym and I will do this and I will do that, and many of those goals kind of fade in as the new year progresses. But in my case, I could say I have always been somewhat constantly in the gym, constantly exercising, maybe constantly going for a run. And that matters a lot on the grand scheme of things. The life of an airline guy is dynamic, and you have to maintain yourself at all times, and not only in the job of a cabin crew, but also whatever you may be doing. And just so you know, personal growth requires sacrifices. You might skip on some parties, you might skip on that fast food joint just to achieve some of your new year goals. Let's see. Let's see how that works out. Sometimes I relax a bit too much. I eat a bit too much fast food. And it's funny because here in Abu Dhabi, it's so easy to order talabat at 2 a.m. in the morning. And the talabat order will come in approximately 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, they're here. And you have your food, right? You have your groceries. It's a touch of a finger, and they deliver those things fast. I'm always surprised. I would say whoever lives in UAE is a bit spoiled in a certain way, or from a certain point of view. It's ups and downs. That's life, ups and downs. But you cannot let the down part kind of destroy the long-term view that you are building for your own life. Anyways, speaking of that view, building it for your own life, I had a friend recently. I talk to people because many of you guys, you asking me different random questions on my Insta, on DMs and whatnot. And many of those questions are in relationship with the job of a cabin crew. Working for Etihad, working for Emirates, working for Qatar. And I was talking with this girl, and she was super excited about the prospect of becoming a cabin crew. She succeeded in her interview, and her interview took a few months. Nowadays, the process sometimes takes a long time, and you have to test your own patience about it, and you have to be patient because, what can you do? The process takes a long time. So it took a long time in her case, but eventually it came true, and she succeeded in her final interview. I believe everything was online in her case, and she was super excited. She was asking questions about Abu Dhabi, and she couldn't wait to be here, and so on and so forth. That's absolutely great. Everybody's super excited to start a new life, to start a new job. I was super excited when I started my journey here in Abu Dhabi. 2016 was that. Jesus, time flies by. But during training, she was already homesick, and she told me about it. And then we didn't speak for a bit, and then a few months later, she told me that she actually resigned. She worked only for like 3 or 4 months, and she left home because she was homesick. She couldn't handle being away from her family, from her friends, from her life back home in her home country. And, this is one of the things that many people, they don't consider, especially before traveling abroad and working abroad. You might be homesick. Maybe you have a great relationship with your parents. I'm not saying you had a bad relationship if you left your home to be able to work in a different place. No, I'm not saying that, but maybe your relationship with your parents was absolutely fabulous, and you cannot really leave outside of the premises because you don't want to. You want to know what's happening with your family at all times. You want to keep in touch, right? And just being on call, on video calls, doesn't work for you. One of the aspects was this girl never traveled before. So she actually never traveled before joining Etihad. She never flew before. She was never in a plane before joining Etihad. And I know many of you joining the airline, it's actually the case. You haven't flown before. you haven't been on a plane before, right? So your first trip is actually the Etihad trip that you will take to go to Abu Dhabi to join the airline that you're going to be working on the plane. In my case, it was the second flight or third flight I ever took. So I would say close call. But nevertheless, you have people, they never traveled in their lives and they want to join the airline and they succeed in those interviews. That's amazing. But you can just see that lack of belonging, like, hey, I don't belong here. I'm in a new place. Do I belong here? Everything is different. Everything is new. It's not because maybe Abu Dhabi is a bad place. Not on the contrary. It's just because they're not used to it and they get homesick. So this girl resigned. She resigned after 3 or 4 months. That's it. She packed her bags, went straight back to her home place, her home country. And that can happen. That can happen to some of you. So you have to be ready when you leave your home country to go abroad. You have to be ready for that culture shock. You have to be ready to experience life on your own. Your mother will not be there to wash your dishes. You have to take care of your own laundry. You have to clean your house, right? Or maybe hire somebody to clean your house. Some people do that. But what I mean is you have to take care of your stuff, right? You have to be responsible. You have to be an adult. And some people, they join young indeed, 22, 21 years old. And of course, maybe you were spoiled by your family until that point. And then once you start living on your own, abroad is just too much. It's too much to bear. It's too much to handle. It's a bit of a shock. So from this perspective, you have to take that in consideration before applying for the job of cabin crew or before applying for any job abroad, any job that requires you to move your whole life. How was my case? I was super excited to travel abroad and to live by the sea, to shift my whole life, because I just felt like, it's a new opportunity. It's a new environment. I can learn so much from this. I can experience a whole new world. I just wanted to do it, and I just went for it, and I don't regret it whatsoever. And probably most of you will have the same opinion about it. Anyway, what do you guys think about this topic? I just wanted to make a small video about it. Please let me know in the comment section down below. Have you moved your life away from your family and friends? Have you shifted countries? What was your experience? Or in case you haven't, are you prepared? See you guys on the next one. Cheers.